sometimes we we're a little too agreeable in the way we deliver, and because we don't want to kind of burn a bridge or make someone feel stupid or whatever.
Welcome to the Howie and Beastmode podcast, where we discuss all things business, including growth, strategy, and execution, as well as personal and professional development. Let's join Howie and Beastmode in conversation.
Go first. Start entry level. So my idea was to go first and just practice going first on the phone. Every phone call, go first and say who you are. You don't have to say why you're calling, because again, sometimes that's too much. Just tell them who you are and what you're with. I'm Jordan Allsup. I'm with JL. Can I talk to Brian, please? Just go first. Try it there and allow it to be a seed that's get cultivated in other areas. Start small.
Yeah, and what inspires me when you say go first, because I know you mean more than just how your voicemail style, but what I think what you also mean, and
it's not a voicemail. When you're talking, whenever somebody answers the phone, says hello, that's what you should say. Yes. Hi, this is Jordan Allsup with JL. May I speak with Brian, please?
Yeah, but it's also, I think that's just one example of your overall idea. And I think the overall idea that blesses me a lot too, when you think about business strategy, business ownership, even career development, going first is basically providing value kind of like by faith. Like you go first by providing value, regardless if it comes back to you. And that's the bigger example, I think, is what I take from what you said. But
it's like sampling. It's like sampling. Okay. Everybody loves we're locals to Dallas Fort Worth. Everybody loves going to Sam's or Costco and walking down the aisle and getting a free sample. Right? Yep. I didn't pay for it and it's really good. So maybe I'll swing by and I'll grab some, dinner rolls or whatever they're giving. It's just sample, but you don't have to buy anything. You can come by and grab 10 samples. Who cares? Have an entire meal of samples, and maybe you don't buy this time. Come back again. Maybe you'll buy it next time. Just go first.
Going first. So providing nourishment in that case, but it could be an idea nourishment, or it could be a risk assessment nourishment. Hey, I see this risk in your business. I wanted to let you know, which might be might be a really cool move, by the way.
Yeah.
Going first is really cool. I like that as a sort of like an umbrella general, way of going. And then the thing that I brought in was when you go after in your business development efforts, providing a way for that customer to be able to do kind of like one of three things. Give them ideas around this, and you have to go do the work. This could be a couple hours or more of work for you, for every prospect that you actually try to reach out to. But then, of course, you can reuse that work once you've done it once or twice for sure. But for example, with my accounting firm experiment, I was helping them build their revenue. I was helping them build adjacent revenue. And we showed you the example, $18 million accounting firm. We found a very easy path to adding 1.08, basically $1.1 million in annual revenue by just cross-selling some new services to their existing customers, right? So giving them those kinds of insights, as well as the practical ideas for those programs, which I do have, by the way. So I'm going to present that to these accounting firms and help them with that. So I think, honestly, it feels like an extension of going first, honestly, to me.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that is, most people are not starting conversations off right on the phone, because I encounter it all the time on the phone. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. If you need to take something away, don't go spend 5 hours trying to sell somebody a new product. Start by leaving proper voicemail.
I think you said that people are afraid of doing that. They're afraid of wasting their time. They have quotas to hit, or they've got goals. And I think we can understand that human fear, but you do reap what you sow. And, biblically, if some of you guys read the Bible, it says, cast your bread upon the waters. Your bread is what? Your resources, right? Your bread is your resources. It's your food, right? So it's your work product. Let's just say it's your work product.
Yeah.
So cast your work product on the waters. And after how many days? many days, it will return to you. So it may or may not be an instant thing for you. It may take
Yeah.
a little bit, but giving your best work product away, your resources away, actually
Well,
is a business strategy.
yeah, and it's plural. So it's not, so don't everybody stop cold calling and do this strategy only. That's not what that's saying either. It's saying multiple breads on multiple different channels.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this bread and I'm going to put it in 3 different spots, 3 different channels, but I'm also going to take 5 other different breads and I'm going to put them here too.
Mhm.
Which one's going to benefit the most? It's not saying stop down and only contact 5 people, but it's also not saying don't do it at all, you know? And so
Good. It's good. Yeah, so I think that's a good summary. What else would you like to cover kind of adjacently to those kind of core pillars?
it all comes from going first. Um, it just bothers me about pricing. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. When it's so difficult, I don't want to call you to find out the
Okay, but
price.
be more clear on that. What do you mean by pricing?
Anything at all. Whenever I'm looking on the website, when I'm looking here and you have to call, I have to call now, or I have to schedule an appointment. It's like, what you're telling me with that is you're telling me that I don't want to buy it, or you're telling me that it's overvalued because you are scared. You, the company, are scared to put the price out there because you're scared I'm going to say no. And that's a problem. That should be a red flag to you, the company, you, the person. My pricing is way too high, right? Because I have a product that obviously everybody wants, but the only way, I'm having to make them call me. I'm having to, and then I'm going to pester them over and over again. Hey, remember 6 months ago you called about this? You know, are you desperate now? It just bugs me to no end, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really the quality lead aspect, right? Of, we all want a quality lead, you know? And part of the way to get a quality lead is to be as forthright, as authentic, as vulnerable on the front end with who you are, what you're doing, what's going on. I had an example. I had a construction company that I did some suggestions for, kind of like what you did. And my comment to them is, what's the number one fear in your industry? What do people hate? And he said, well, they hate the people come door to door, knock on the door, and like, there's something wrong. We have to fix it, but the only way I can fix it is if you schedule an appointment, unless I come in. And there's this barrier of trust that has to be immediately accepted or like pushed away. And my response was them is just leave a packet. Leave a packet that has your information, but leave what's wrong. Hey, I noticed that your fence is falling down and it's a hazard to this. Just want to let you know this is how much it would be for us to fix it. Just leave it. Let that person open it. Let them go back and go look at their fence. Oh man, it is pretty bad. Okay. And then let them do the price shopping and let them call you. And whenever they call you, they're going to immediately buy. There's not going to be any waste of time of haggling, because you were so vulnerable that it's attractive.
Got it.
You gave everything you had on the front end, and it just blows my mind. And of course they didn't take the idea because they want to plug and chug. They want to go knock on as many doors, and that it just bothers me.
Well, that is interesting.
The difference though, the difference though is everybody's afraid of the rejection, right? Everybody's afraid to get on the phone and you're telling them you're doing all this, and then they just hang up on you.
I'm not
right?
afraid of rejection. Maybe some people are. I'm more afraid of like the things that stand in my way mentally from giving away good resources and giving away value and not trying to capture that. Is that they may not get back to me. They may forget. They may use the resource and forget where they got it. And so I feel like I have to follow up to make sure that they can link me to that resource so that if they do like it, then they can follow up properly. But this movement is it's kind of early, but this movement is happening around what you're saying of literally giving it all away and attracting the buyers that want to buy that way.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is cold calls. Everybody's afraid of cold calls when I'm calling you, and then they're just like, why are you calling me? And they hang up, or they get mad and they hang up. If you do what I'm talking about, if they reject you, you're never going to know about it. You're never going to know. And so it eliminates a fear, right? So if I send 500 emails and I get 2 responses, right? I don't know if those 500 people rejected me, never opened it, went to spam. And if I deliver 500 specific things and 2 people get back to me, it's the same difference. But maybe those people will get back to me in a month whenever they have the resources to move ahead. But they already have all the information they need. So the moment they decide, I already have it. I don't have to look. I don't have to do anything. I got it. And maybe I don't have time. Maybe whatever it is.
Well, one of the things that I've seen you operate in, which is very much in line with what Chris Walker says, is that, and I think it kind of alleviates the fear that I shared, but if you have more than one touch, then they can't forget you because you have multiple touches over a period of months or whatever. And so they're not going to forget you. They're going to start to build up you're going to good relationship because of that.
Yeah. And you on your end should be cataloging it. So in 6 months, if they didn't call you about your fence and you go by the area or whatever, and it's still there, then you touch again. Hey, I just want to let you know, I dropped this off and I'm really concerned about you and your family. And, we would love to fix that fence for you. The price is still the same, whatever.
Yeah.
So we have the ability to follow up. I have yours, even if you don't have mine. And so if I send you a strategic touch and 3 months goes by, doesn't mean that I can't stir the pot. That person again.
So strong follow-up is still a good thing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a one and done. But when I follow up, I'm following up on a specific thing that I did. I did this for you. And that's I'm telling you, that's one of the ways that really does something. I did this for you on this date. I remember, and I know you do too. If you received it, boom. And now it just triggers such a reaction of, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this guy. I meant to call him. It's been 90 days. And because he told me, I just feel so bad, but I know I needed to do it. And now they call it even more desperate.
Well, the second touch is easier because you've done your homework. It's more of a follow-up. You still have the, whatever it was. In your example, it's a B2C, a business to consumer approach.
Yeah.
Although offenses could be around a business too. But you've identified, you've got in your spreadsheet or you've got in your HubSpot, your database, you've got, hey, here are 60 homes in Tarrant County that I drove by. I gave them a packet. I gave them my card. Their fence looked pretty bad, or their roof looked pretty bad. And now I can follow up again. I can hit all 60 again. That'll take me 2 or 3 Saturdays, or probably 2 Saturdays to do that if they're spread out really badly. But I can go knock on those doors, give them my card, or I don't know if you're even saying knock on the door. You might or may not be. Yeah.
No, I'm saying not to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and there could be different versions of it.
Do like my suggestion is do it by neighborhood. Give this neighborhood strategic touches like we're talking about. Give this neighborhood go crazy, and in 6 months, weigh the facts. Which one was easier? Which one did you spend more time on? Which one, was follow up easier? Because you're going to follow, if you go knock, if you cold call, you're going to follow up. But now whenever my follow-up isn't, I didn't provide any value on the front end. So when I'm following up, I'm not following up with value again.
And what kind of inspires me too is, right now you're talking about driving around neighborhoods, which I think someone on this podcast will probably go do that based on what you said. I think I like the idea a lot. But I think the internet, the the B2B version of that could be identifying their product lines and talking about, how the website was confusing and suggesting XYZ to fix it, or suggesting you didn't see this product line, but that seems to make sense for an adjacent business for you. Love to talk to you about my ideas for you. And I feel like there's ways of driving the neighborhood on the internet when you're talking about a B2B thing, by looking at their website, looking at their offerings and giving them feedback and ideas. When I was out of a job and I was searching for employment during the worst part of the pandemic, I was competing against a lot of sales managers who were on the street because people were laying off salespeople like crazy and sales managers like crazy. And I was trying to get a job. And so I was doing all this business analysis. And the way I did that was looking at websites and by doing research on the company. And I got to have very senior executives reach out to me, and because I had done that work for them. So I'm just letting the audience know that the stuff that Beastmode is talking about in terms of sort of like providing neighborhood insights for actual physical B2C consumer neighbors, whether it's a roof or their windows or their shrubs or their flowers or their fences or their front door looks like crap, which you see those sometimes too. But whatever it is, whatever you're trying to sell, providing those insights and those ideas and maybe some suggested prices or the price range between these different options. That same type of analysis and help taps into that tribal instinct that we all have, take feedback from others, because we outsource some of our analysis of the world and even of ourselves by getting the opinion of the tribe. So if I'm going to go analyze websites as part of my prospecting in a B2B way, then I can also tap into the same neighborhood idea that Beastmode's giving, but now I'm doing that on the web with B2B.
Yeah. I mean, and there's ways to even go down that rabbit trail. Whenever you go look at comments or, hey, I went and looked at Reddit. I noticed this issue, so I just went over to Reddit and I pulled here's the stream of everybody talking about this same issue. Here's a way to fix it.
Yep.
We've done this in the past, or here's a bunch of customers who said they wish they would have had this addition or this add-on. Just letting you know it's out there. And when you drop that specific to the right person, and for me, it is, I leave out. I know you said you didn't with your reach out. I leave out the follow-up. I don't need to tell you to follow up with me. If you agree, you're going to do it. If you disagree, you're not going to do it. So, and that's where I feel like it's being kind on the front end. I'm being kind to you, irregardless if you're being kind and call me back and talk about it.
Yeah, and I think you could break up your content. Let's say you came up with 5 insights for this accounting firm or for this software company or for this whatever. You came up with 5 insights that were partly based on your expertise, maybe, and then maybe partly on looking at Reddit and looking at G2 Crowd and looking at Yelp or whatever, looking at the Google reviews, and also reading their website. And you kind of come up with some of these pretty good insights now, right? And you could have a list of 6 and just give them 2 insights the first touch.
Yeah.
And then wait a week, give them 2 more insights.
Yeah.
And like voicemail, email, social, and you're giving them all insights about their business that they hadn't seen yet. And even if they have seen those and they already knew about that, you at least have credibility that you came up with something that was already on their mind. That's not a bad thing either. So yeah, I like this idea a lot, and I really like using. So I was just looking at their website, and you're saying, hey, go beyond when you're doing development, go to other sources too, which is great.
I'm saying you can, and probably like you said, if this one accounting firm has that, then probably the same work. I spent 3-4 hours or whatever. It translates. Because they're all going to be similar. We just talked about how everybody's copying each other, but in the negative way. I found a trend here, and now it applies to every accounting firm.
That's what I said early on, which is that you don't lose this work. Whenever
No.
you do this business analysis, you get smarter. It's like a college class, but then you also can use this multiple times.
And maybe you maybe this is my first time reaching out to accounting firms in this capacity. And so now I'm learning who I need to contact. Yeah, the COO, obviously it's helpful, but he's connecting me to here. So maybe all across the board, now I need to see if I can hit double tap.
Love it. Yeah. Go to the level that he bounced me to and to his or her level, hit them both. Since I might get referred to that person anyway, go ahead and go to that level initially, but then also go that way. So you have some executive, relationship, try to go to that level as well. Yeah. Double tap. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
So,
It's great. It's great. I love it. This is the kind of stuff that I hope people really take to heart, because some of these ideas, and we covered it's kind of a little bit of a longer podcast, but we really covered a lot of things about asymmetrical, not every single day you hear this, business development for your business. And some of this should impact your services and your products as well.
Yeah, it changes everything. It can't not change everything. Sorry to double negative, but if you shift into this perspective, and it's a heart change, when you do, it's going to change everything, and it's going to be for the better.
Yeah,
it just is.
Love it.
So, all right, Howie, I really enjoyed this tonight. As you said, it was a little longer. We're probably going to chop it up into 2, but if you want to watch the thing continuously, you got to come check it out live. It'll be saved there. Share it with your friends. Look forward to connecting. And again, if you're looking to be a guest, once a month, we're going to have a guest on.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. I really enjoyed it. I think it's powerful. Some of this will be, some of it has even helped shape what I will work on next week with my experiment, with my own business development experiment. There's some nuances that I picked up myself. So yeah, good stuff for sure.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
Later.
To increase engagement across my different platforms. And one of the ways that I'm trying to be unique and different with that is by how I'm communicating.